Did you hear that?
Back in a little bit. But
Need
for
some room.
for me, it's an honor and a privilege. These are my former compadres for 710 ESPN LA in the house. Midday show.
That's right.
Max and Marcellus, Max Kellerman, Marcellus Wiley here on First Take.
You know what? I'm going to propose that Max and I settle this first argument ultimately in the boxing ring.
Oh, y'all want to go at it?
Yeah. Max would take
he's full of that gas because he works out every day.
Max would take you out and
I respect the heck out of your boxing knowledge.
This ain't no treadmill. This ain't a treadmill, brother.
Come on.
You know, I haven't had my hands wrapped in about 20 years, but maybe. I mean, maybe if you want.
I give you 2 rounds. You take them out 2 rounds. Anyway, let's move on because obviously the New York Knicks are thinking about making moves with Raymond Felton on his way to New York via a sign and trade deal with Portland. Evidence is mounting that the New York Knicks will not bring back Jeremy Lin. In fact, I reported that they're saying they're not going to match the Houston Rockets' $25 million 3-year offer to Jeremy Lin. Team sources say the Knicks are still deliberating, however, whether they can pay Lin more than $25 million or not over the next 3 years. But one source within the organization told me that's not going to happen. Actually, it was more than one. That's just prompted stuff right there. Marcellus, I'll start with you first.
Bring it.
Your thoughts about the New York Knicks and whether or not they should match this offer for Jeremy Lin.
I think they should. I mean, I think they're making a huge mistake right here.
Yes.
I mean, first of all, you got to talk about the only thing that intrigues a franchise, intrigues a fan base more than production is potential. And you talk about a 23-year-old point guard who went out there last year in limited time, really changed the landscape and expectations of this franchise going forward. Now let him finish the deal. There's a problem when you talk about a 39-year-old Jason Kidd who made a kiddie decision this weekend. We'll leave that to the side. Or Raymond Felton, a guy who was expendable last year, and now you're going to come back to that rerun. Is that going to change your expectations going forward? Is that going to change the outcome against the Miami Heat team in the Eastern Conference? I don't think so.
Even if it's $30 million against your cap in year 3?
Well, first of all, when you go from college to the pro game, the first thing they tell you in the locker room is, it's a business. And we know it's a business on the court and off the court. He handles his business in limited time on the court. Off the court, no doubt, no question, this guy is going to be somebody you want to make sure is on your payroll. They're making a bad decision on and off the court.
I don't feel.
But Dolan
just dropped
is used
some
to
knowledge
doing
on
it.
you,
Dolan is used to doing these things.
I don't feel like talking with you right now. Max Kellerman, what do you have to say?
I agree with the portly gentleman from Compton. Now, here it is. First of all, Jeremy Lin was not only torching the league over those 8, 10, 12 games, they were winning while he was torching the league. Now, Miami shut him down. Miami shuts everyone down. They shut Derrick Rose down last year in the playoffs. And, you know, Darren Williams got him. Who doesn't Darren Williams get if he's trying to get him? Darren Williams gets Chris Paul when they go head-to-head at times. But really, this is not about basketball or even the salary cap, because the Knicks are capped out regardless because of Amari and Carmelo and Tyson Chandler. They have no flexibility. This comes down purely to dollars and cents. Do the Knicks have an appetite to spend $30+ million in the last year of Jeremy Lin's contract? And my point is, it's a stupid tax. They could have extended Jeremy Lin, here's 6 years, $30 million. You know, a year ago, 6 months ago, whatever it was, they chose for him to test his market to see what his value was. Then they made the comment, I think it was Jim Dolan who said, we're going to match anything up to $1 billion. In other words, we're not
Mike Woodson.
It was Woodson. In other words,
oh, wait, you just gave away Mike Woodson?
Stephen A said it. Here come the hammer.
Time out. Y'all are not listening to me. Mike Woodson was on the record saying we're not losing him.
Okay, but somebody said we'll match $1 billion.
And
yeah, they said it to the press.
And what it comes down to is,
wish Mike Woodson would return my call. But
they won't match $1 billion. They won't match $30 million in the last year. Again, not about cap flexibility because they're capped out. It's just about the money. Jim Dolan, you're going to have to pay a stupid tax.
Excuse me, Max. Excuse me. I love you. This ain't Max or Marcellus. Y'all are not getting away with this. First, let me deal with you. I'm going right here because number one, Max Kellerman is a bit emotional when it comes to the New York Knicks, as we all are. He's disgusted. He thinks that James Dolan is the worst owner in the history of sports. He is totally biased against.
I'm out in L.A. now with Jerry Buss. It's so good. It's so good.
Did he grow up a Knicks fan?
Yeah.
So he feels that way. But let me tell y'all this. Here's my thing with you and Marcellus. What are y'all watching? What were y'all watching? Did y'all see Jeremy Lin, difficulty going to his left? Did y'all see Jeremy Lin that can't defend you? Did you see that Jeremy Lin was sitting up there and talking about he's 85% ready and can't perform in the playoffs when bodies were dropping like flies around him? All I'm trying to say is this. Listen, I'm not knocking the dude. He made a business decision. I'm proud of him for getting his money. I always support the dudes getting their money. money. But I'm thinking about the New York Knicks, and I'm thinking about this window of opportunity that you have with Melo.
How does it affect them getting another player? They're capped out anyway.
What I'm trying to say to you is this: it's not a matter of affecting them getting another player. The point is, because of Jeremy Lin, the Tebow mania, just like Lin said.
Oh, don't do that. He supported this. First of all, Tebow, don't go there on Tebow. And then you
don't go way on Tebow.
We're not going to even go there.
That's right.
I'm a supporter of Tebow.
Oh, Lord, I didn't know that.
Jeremy Lin.
I didn't even know.
You didn't even
know that?
I didn't know that.
Twitter.
He's got a picture on Twitter.
I just watched. Who were you watching? You talking about Jason Kidd. You talking about a guy who shot 35, 36%.
I know.
Okay.
We know
you
that.
don't go Raymond Felton 40%.
What's this got to do with Steven? What's it got to do with Jeremy Lin? It doesn't affect their ability to get anyone else. It's just do you want him or not?
If Jeremy Lin is in the lineup, you've got the people. Well, the reason I brought up Tebow is because you're going to have people clamoring for him to do what they think he's supposed to do when he did it without Melo and Stat on the floor. Now, if you got Amari Stoudemire and you got Carmelo Anthony on the floor and he did the same things he was doing without them, then you have a valid point. But
he had 35 games, Stephen A.
25 games.
35 games on the roster, 25 games as a starter. And I'm going to say this about this guy. This guy went out there basically in his rookie year and got an opportunity and seized the moment. Now you go
25 games.
You go forward and you let.
You can't do that in the NBA if you're not good. In the NBA, you can't do that if you're not good.
No one in the NBA last year had an off season.
So in other words, y'all trying to tell me, I understand the $5 million because of mid-level exception, the $5 million, $5.225 million in the second year. You trying to tell me you got no problems with Jeremy Lin being on your books at $14.89 million?
Time out. Yeah, I would have a problem if you were way under the cap and that was going to affect you getting another player. That's one thing. But in that year, they're paying Carmelo 23, they're paying Amari 23, they're paying Tyson Chandler 15. They have no flexibility. So what it really comes down to is spending Jim Dolan's money, which I'm fine with. Again, I think it's a stupid tax for not extending him earlier. And do you think you want Lin on your roster? And the answer to both to me is yeah, man.
You're making an emotional decision just like Jim Dolan is. He got upset because he thought he had Jeremy Lin capped out at a certain number. I don't care, it's not my money. And then all of a sudden he went out there and got $6 more million from the Houston Rockets after they went on record saying we'll match you at a set number. And now Jim Dolan's saying, you know what? Where's my hometown discount? Jeremy Lin's not from New York.
And the bottom line is they were winning with Lin.
Exactly. So that's the problem right there.
Go ahead, Skip, because I know you agree with that. We already know this, but go ahead. I just wanted to give you a chance to speak.
What did I convince you of?
You ain't convinced me of anything.
The show? What knowledge did I drop on you? This is James Dolan.
You say kicking science. What science did you kick?
Yeah, I mean.
Overreacting. James Dolan is overreacting with emotion. In this case, it's spite because Jeremy Lin and the Rockets took him to business school. They played this game exactly the way they should have played it. They dropped this rumor out there, oh, it's going to be like $9.3 million in the third year. And all of a sudden, all your sources say, oh, we're going to match, we're going to match. And all of a sudden, the Rockets said, oh, well, watch this. Let's see if you can match this 14.8.
Right.
And you keep acting like it's a cap hit at 14.8 plus the luxury tax. Max said, it's not a cap hit. It's just money out of Dolan's pocket. I thought he said many times, money is no object.
Yeah.
Well, this is a very valuable piece to this puzzle. And I'm going to point out to you again, even with Melo, they went on the road at Milwaukee. Jeremy Lin, 20-13 with Melo at Milwaukee. That shows he can play.
I mean, listen. I'm just saying he brought up Milwaukee. Let me be very, very clear about what I'm saying because there's a schism that exists between us right here, right now. We need to understand something. I need to be on the record because evidently y'all ain't been listening.
Okay.
Y'all have not been listening.
You ain't been seen. You got the glasses on.
I really don't believe he's all that.
Well, what's all that?
I really don't believe he's all that.
What is all that? Is Raymond Felton all that?
He's better than Raymond Felton.
Yeah.
Is Jason Kidd right now all that?
Time out.
6 points?
He's a better scorer than Raymond Felton.
You'd rather have Jeremy Lin than Raymond Felton on your team, period.
No. You can say that right now because of the year that Raymond Felton is coming off.
He was out of shape.
Well, he was out of shape and had a disagreement with Nate McMillan and was in the doghouse. I'm thinking that it's not hard because he certainly didn't get a lot of time, certainly didn't put a lot of mileage on his body last season. I'm thinking it's easy for Raymond Felton to return the form that he left New York with.
Ray Felton had 1 year in his career as, now, league average point guard is saying a lot. That's tough in the NBA. In D'Antoni's system, he spent 1 year as a solid league average point guard, and that was the best year of his career. career and D'Antoni's
I totally agree, but I've watched both of them, and I guess what I'm saying to you is I see a guy in Raymond Felton that if I'm looking for a dude to put points on the board and score buckets because I don't have a Melo, because I don't have a Stoudemire, I want Jeremy Lin. I want Jeremy Lin.
Okay.
If I'm thinking about a point guard that to run the show and get those other dudes involved, I do believe Raymond Felton.
Steven, this one ain't that hard. This one not that hard. Jeremy Lin's a good player. You want him on your team.
Yeah,
This one's not that hard.
This one's not that hard. One guy is undrafted, one guy's 5th overall pick. I need to see a bigger gap, bigger disparity between the numbers because one has a tremendous upside and potential. The other guy already seen what he is.
Jeremy's only 12 years old. I mean, he's a baby.
I miss y'all tremendously. And I miss the boys at 710 ESPN LA.
Here comes the butt.
Y'all are getting on my damn nerves right now. We ain't gotta go
What
to
about our
break.
1050 days in New York?